Imagine receiving a direct, unfiltered command from the absolute creator of the universe. No ancient texts, no prophets, no intermediaries, just you, standing in the crushing, blinding light of objective reality, hearing an instruction straight from the source. The entity receiving this command possesses immense intelligence, complete free will, and a perfect understanding of exactly who is speaking. He knows he is a subordinate, and yet, looking directly into that absolute authority, he flatly says no. He makes this choice with a clear, highly functional mind. This is a strategic calculation, executed with the full brilliance of his intellect, unclouded by madness or psychological disorder. When someone has all the facts, absolute proof, and perfect intellect, a refusal to obey does not stem from a lack of understanding. A massive, unseen psychological blockade formed inside his own personality, completely overriding his basic instinct for survival. Long before this standoff, he was a highly devoted servant. Through immense effort and track record, he earned an exclusive seat at the highest possible table. Out of his entire species, he was the only one granted VIP status among the angels. Over time, a quiet shift occurred in how he measured his own worth. His sense of value detached from the actual work he was doing. His entire self worth became tethered to his rank. He drew his value from how others perceived him. He built a mental picture of himself as inherently superior. In his mind, he was the untouchable top executive, irreplaceable, set apart from the masses, and occupying a permanent number one spot in the hierarchy. But perception based value is incredibly fragile. When your entire identity relies on being viewed as the absolute best, any shift in the hierarchy acts as a lethal threat. If you aren't number one, you are zero. By the time he stood in the light of the Creator, he was already trapped. His loyalty to objective reality had eroded, secretly replaced by a complete, desperate dependency on his own internal PR campaign. Then, the catalyst arrives. A completely new creation is brought into existence and instantly receives absolute validation from the creator. In a single moment, his monopoly on being special evaporates. The command to bow down to this new creation presents an impossible internal ultimatum. He must either submit to the objective rule, and in doing so, destroy his carefully manufactured self image, or preserve his pride by rejecting reality entirely. He chooses to protect his ego at all costs. But a hyper-intelligent mind cannot ignore reality without a mechanism to handle the cognitive dissonance. To avoid admitting fault, he urgently needs a scapegoat. His first target is the new creation, ignoring that this newcomer did absolutely nothing. The displaced anger flows cleanly to an innocent target. But one target isn't enough. Directing anger upward, he accuses the creator of setting a trap, framing ultimate authority as the villain. The 3 points lock together, sealing him inside a rigid logic where he is the victim and the system is the flaw. His intellect now serves a single purpose, maintaining the internal coherence of this grudge. The immediate consequence of his rebellion is a total, devastating loss of his rank. Stripped of his title, he faces the one prospect more terrifying to his ego than death, becoming completely invisible. So he develops a new strategic economic model. If he can no longer derive value from being the most praised, he will extract it by being the most painful. Causing damage guarantees a reaction, and a reaction guarantees he cannot be ignored. This gives birth to the my truth paradox. He actively constructs an alternate reality where he is the unfairly victimized hero. Any objective evidence that proves him wrong is intentionally blocked out. Because his intelligence remains fully intact, he knows exactly what the objective truth is. He simply decides that his fabricated story is more important than reality, elevating his pride above the facts. Yet no amount of revenge or destruction actually brings him peace. He can burn down 1,000 lives, but external sabotage cannot repair a broken internal self-image. The rage runs on an infinite loop. The rebellion has solidified into a permanent internal state. He is now entirely isolated, living within a reality that he has designed to be immune to any external truth. He focuses his efforts on a new goal, replicating his own psychological operating system within the human mind. We see this blueprint operating at full capacity in modern culture. The relentless obsession with social metrics, the desperate cling to designer brands, and the deep seated belief that human value comes entirely from external perception and status. He encourages us to create our own truth. This concept isolates individuals inside their own mental VIP rooms, making them violently hostile to any objective reality that dares to challenge their self image. Which brings us right back to where we started. Every day we find ourselves standing in that same vertical column of light, faced with the absolute demands of reality. When objective reality inevitably asks for our submission, the ultimate test is clear. We will either dismantle our ego, or we will embrace the echo chamber, lock the door, and follow the architect of delusion into the dark.